I would not have paid to go watch them. I can't believe I'm saying this, but the milk scene was the best thing in this movie besides Antonio Banderas. I cried so hard. I cried at least like 4 times during that movie. Everything is so perfect about this. I don't know what it says about me, but you know, I support women's rights, but I also support women's wrongs. That song changed my brain chemistry. Something just clicks in my brain, and I'm like, oh yeah, I want to listen to this depressing sexual music. We're just gossiping to each other. We're like, girl, do you know what happened last week? Hi cuties, welcome back to my channel. It is the end of the month, and do you know what that means? Of course not, I've never done this before. So in this video, I will be going through all the media I've consumed in February, since it's the end of the month. This is a series that I would like to start doing, because the idea I've had for a very long time, even before I made my YouTube channel, I wanted to record a month in a way that, oh, what were my favorite my most listened songs during this month? What was my favorite movie that I watched during this month? And just all the what are the highlights of my month in terms of the media that I've consumed. And now I can do this in video form, and you bet your ass that I will. I have my trusty dusty laptop right here. I'll start by saying that I have various platforms that I use to track everything that I watch, that I listen to. I use Notion to track my TV series and also Kdramas and books. I use Letterboxd to track the films that I've watched, and also to write reviews for them and my ratings and everything. I use I also use Notion for to track my favorite songs, and I did this very recently, meaning 2 days ago for this video, but I would like to start doing it regularly so that I have a clear overview of all the songs and artists and albums that I've been enjoying. Last but not least, I use Kitsu to track my anime and manga consumption. And I think that I will be going through all of these in that order in this video. Without further ado, let's talk about some movies. Now, February was a really strong month for me when it comes to watching film, because I got an unlimited subscription for the cinema. So I've literally been to the cinema like more times in the past month than in the past like a few years. And I'm not complaining. Although some of the films that I watched are, I mean, I would not have paid to go watch them. So you take what you can get. I started February with watching Alvin and the Chipmunks. So I talked about this movie in my last vlog. It's an old movie, you know. It was a rewatch. My Letterboxd review says this movie walked so that the Smurfs could run, and I stand by it. I did give it 2.5 stars. Sue me. I'm a pretty harsh rater, I would say, but I'm also really biased at the same time. So, you know, looking at this list, I would say that February was a strong month for me in terms of quantity, not necessarily in terms of quality, because the next movie that I've watched in February was Baby Girl, and I also talked about this in my last vlog. In short, I did not enjoy it. I gave it 2 stars. My Letterboxd review is, oh yeah, I can't believe I'm saying this, but the milk scene was the best thing in this movie besides Antonio Banderas. And if you know, you know. There's nothing more to say about that. Actually, all of the movies that I've watched in February, I watched in the cinema. I think that's important to know. So the next movie that I watched, it was the new Bridget Jones movie, Mad About the Boy. I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. And my Letterboxd review is, Scientific fact: old happy people make me cry, and that's true. I just love seeing old people be happy for some reason. It just really brings me joy. I don't know. I don't think that I've watched all of the previous Bridget Jones movies, but you know, I don't care. I really don't. Mm, some things I didn't like about the movie, but you know what? It's not that serious. Who cares? Talking about unseriousness, the next movie that I watched was Marked Men, Rule plus Show. I gave it 1.5 star. I really did not like that movie. My review says a waste of my unlimited cinema subscription, and that's literally all there is to say about it. This movie is about this tattoo artist who is very emotionally unavailable. He's a bad boy, and his childhood best friend apparently been in love with him this whole time, and so they get together, and I was just so freaking bored, honestly. To end the month with a bang, the last movie that I watched was the new Attack on Titan movie. It's not new, but they just released it in cinema. I gave it 5 stars. I cried so hard. I cried at least like 4 times during that movie. Um, and I know this is like it's an anime movie, and maybe it would have been better to talk about it at the end of this video or like in the anime section, but I saw it in my letterbox, so I was like, I'm just gonna say it now and skip it later. It's whatever. Yeah, those are the movies that I watched. I finished one TV series, and that's No One Wants This. I I loved it so much. That may be recency bias a little bit of there because I binge watched it and I literally finished it like an hour ago. So I don't know what to say. It's about this podcaster. It gives a lot of Sex and the City vibes, but make it with less sexual and more modern. So there's this woman who does a podcast about sex, relationships, etc. with her sister, and then she meets this very peculiar guy who's Jewish, and they just kind of fall for each other. And let me tell you, the banter, the dialogue, the humor, everything, the everything is so perfect about this. I love it so much. It's right up my alley, and it's not cringe. It's not. It just hits. You know, when the dialogue is good and the chemistry is there, you already have like a perfect recipe for a good movie or series. Mm, so that's the only series that I finished. I've been watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine as well with my partner, but that we're not gonna finish it anytime soon because we just watch it like every once in a while. We're on season 5 right now, and I really enjoy it. I feel like the series gets like the more you let it cook, the better it gets. Captain Holt, rest in peace to the actor, but his character in the series, I love him dearly. He is amazing. So those are all of the movies and the TV series that I've watched, and now it's time to talk about music. From what I see here on my list, February was very much dominated by pop, and I'm not mad about it, honestly. I've been listening on repeat to a lot of the songs that have aired this year. For example, Abracadabra by Lady Gaga, also Disease by Lady Gaga. I watched the video a few days ago about the lyrics of Abracadabra, and I don't know if it was real, but the woman was explaining what it like. She was in the video. She was translating the lyrics of Abracadabra from like a witch language, and it was something about demons and dying, and and I was like, yeah, yeah, this sounds so grim, and at the same time, I'm like, Abracadabra. You know what I mean? Another new release that I've been listening to is Born Again by Lisa with Doja Cat and Ray? Ray was it? I don't know. That song is holding me in such a chokehold at the moment that I'm really into dance pop now. And that one, that is just, I don't want to say empowering because that sounds kind of cringe, but it's just this feminine confidence, like hyper feminine confidence that I absolutely love, and I'm all here for it. Now, speaking of hyper feminine confidence, I'm also listening to Tate McRae's new album, So Close to What, and my favorite song from the album is Sports Car. I don't know what it says about me, but you know, I support women's rights, but I also support women's wrongs. That song, that is such a cunty song. Oh my god, I have no words. It hits so hard. I've also been listening to Good Looking by Suki Waterhouse. I really liked Suki in Daisy Jones and the Six, the series, because then I found out that she also makes music for you. And I saw this song was trending a lot online, and I was like, this sounds ethereal. Oh my god, her voice, the arrangement, the visuals, everything makes me happy. Speaking of female empowerment and badass female characters and female songs, I've also been listening to Mantra by Jennie from Blackpink, and that song is like, I feel like that's the song that I've been listening to the most in February. I'm like, every time I listen to it, I just get instantly in such a good mood. I'm like, this too case you will find it is so nice. Pretty girls don't do drama unless we want night. Will be depending on the day. It just hits, you know. Or maybe you don't know, but go check it out, please. Do yourself a favor. I love this song. Listening to a lot of Naomi John. I love her as a YouTuber, but her music also slaps so hard. One of my favorite songs are Placebo and Ugly. So good, just so good. I am a chaperone around Stan. I love like one of my favorite songs are Red Wine Supernova, and that song is also just it gives me something that I don't have in my life, you know. You know what I mean. And I've also been listening a lot to that one. I've been listening to quite some Gracie Abrams as well. Love, Secret of Us album is, I really like that one. And I've also been listening to a lot of songs from the Nana soundtrack from the anime, and it's my absolute favorite, which is also my favorite of all time, like currently at least, is A Little Pain by Olivia. And that song, it's punk rock, and I've really been getting into punk rock because of Nana, because I'm obsessed with Nana, with the show. My absolute favorite songs from that soundtrack are by Olivia, and other songs by her that I really love is Recorded Butterflies, Starless Night, and Wish. All of them are in both Japanese and English kind of mixed. Starless Night, that song, changed my brain chemistry. I'm not joking. Every time that I listen to it, I feel reborn. Something in me just shifts. So I'm obsessed with it. On the topic of music, the last thing that I have for this part is I went to a concert last week. I went to see Ben Barnes, and I will say beforehand I didn't really listen to any of his songs. I just went on a whim because my friends, they love him, and I just got dragged willingly. Maybe I will put something right now for you to see. but it was a really good time. Such a vibe. He's such a sweetheart. I loved it.
Nowhere else I'd rather be. Bells chime and a sweet cry. One thing ends, another starts. I'll climb to the front line. Don't tear us apart. I love you so much for being here. Give it up one more time for Charles Jones.
Had such a good time on this concert. Like, there were 3 opening acts, and all of them seemed to have a very different style, and all of them had such radiant personalities that it was just so nice. And the best part was that because I know nothing about these artists, I didn't know this, but when when Ben Barnes came out on stage, not sexuality wise, when he came on stage, 3 people also came on stage, and apparently they're a band, and it's so cool that they're a band, but each of them does their own thing as well, and it's just so cool. Like, one of the girls, she did something that I've never seen a musician done live, and that's looping. And I know that Ed Sheeran likes to do that, or used to do that, and I've seen videos of him do it, but it was just so cool to see someone do it live, like to create the song and all its components, like in the spot, and that was so cool. I really enjoyed it. It energized me so much mentally, and I loved it. I forgot to mention, I also listened to The Weeknd's new album a little bit. I am the Weeknd stan. I love his music. Dawn FM is my favorite album. I listened to Hurry Up Tomorrow because it aired on my birthday. What a nice birthday gift! But I'm keeping it for a time when I'm actually in the mood to listen to The Weeknd, because I have those. It's usually around summertime. I don't know why. Something just clicks in my brain, and I'm like, oh yeah, I want to listen to this depressing sexual music. Of course, it's not just that, but it's a specific type of vibe. So I don't have much to say about it because I haven't listened to all of the songs, but I look forward to get into that. Mm-mm-mm. Now let's move to books, I guess. Shall we talk about books? Let's talk about books. I finished. This is gonna be a really short section, because I finished only one book this month, and that's Daisy Hates from the Magnolia Parks universe. Oh my god, I that was my redemption, because I hated the first book. I mean, I liked the first book in the beginning, but then it became so repetitive and so annoying, and I was audibly just yelling at the main characters because they were so obnoxious and frustrating. So how this series is built, every book is interchanges the perspectives of different characters. So there's Magnolia Parks and Daisy Hates, that are the sort of main personages in the books. And the first one was about Magnolia Parks, and the second one is about Daisy Hates, and then the third one is again about Magnolia Parks, and then they like switch. And damn, the turn that book took, I am not mad about it at all. I did not expect it at all, but it became so serious all of a sudden, and so like the stakes all of a sudden became so much higher, and I was invested. Let me tell you, I was invested. I want a book focused on Julian. I need that in my life. Jessa Hastings, please write that book. Um, I loved it. I devoured that book. I listened to it on audiobook, and I love that for the series because it's like it's a series that's set in London, and it's with all these posh people in their 20s that just spend a lot of money and do a lot of drama and hook up and all that jazz. And it's so pretentious, it's so dramatic, and I love that. I ate it up. and and yeah, but the reason why I listen to an on audiobook is because I've been getting really into audiobooks in place of physical books, and I know that my books right here, like my physical TBR, is staring down on me because there are a lot of books that I have that I haven't read. But yeah, let's not talk about that, okay? The reason why I liked listening to the series on audiobook is because of that British accent. You know, I love it. Just spices things up, um, especially in the context of this series. Because otherwise, if I read it physically, I'm not gonna read it in a British accent. Let's be honest. So it's just this is more immersive. That's what I'm saying. It's like I feel like when I listen to these books, I feel like I am at a cafe with a girlfriend and just gossiping to each other. We're like, "Girl, do you know what happened last week? Girl." Yeah, that's how I feel listening to the series, and I love that. I love it. There are other books that I've been in the middle of. I started listening to the Thursday Murder Club. Is that what it's called? I honestly, I kind of soft dropped it because I don't know, I was kind of bored. I'm not in the mood for a cozy little mystery um at the moment, so especially with what I just said about the other series and how passionate I was about that. Obviously, I'm in the mood for something more eventful than just old people solving murder cases. But yeah. As for K dramas, I haven't watched any K dramas this month. I've been on a little bit of a slump. I was never like a strong, like devoted K drama girly. I watched some. The last one that I finished, I think it was maybe in January or December. I'm not sure. It was Marry My Husband, and I love that. But we're not gonna talk about it right now because it's February, not December. Now let's move to the last section, and that's anime and manga. I haven't finished any series, but I am sort of in the middle of Made in Abyss. I've heard a lot of good things about it, mainly that it's really sad and that I'm gonna cry my eyes out, and that's just a little ding 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 ding, a little bell for me that I will like it. I haven't gotten to that part yet, so that's why I am so cheerful about it, but it's pretty nice. It's about this post-apocalyptic world where suddenly there's this hole that appears in the ground that's like hundreds of kilometers deep, and nobody knows how it got there. Nobody knows what happened, and no, and um, most of all, nobody knows what's at the bottom. And then one girl decides to get to the bottom of it, literally, and it goes from there. It's pretty nice, pretty good stuff. Another anime that I'm currently in the middle of is Monster. That's a psychological drama about. Uh, okay, I don't know. I don't want to spoil this. I don't know what to say, but it's honestly terrifying. I also heard a lot of good reviews about this. People are raving about it. It's a little bit of a slow burn, but I don't mind that. I don't mind that actually. We follow different characters, we get introduced to different aspects of the story, and it's pretty melancholic to be honest, but terrifying nonetheless. And the last show that I'm gonna talk about is Blue Spring Ride. That's the latest one that I started. I'm almost done with it. I kind of binge watched it because it's a really cute, cozy high school love story. And I'm honestly, with everything that's been going on in my life, I need some coolness of that, some cozy shows. As for manga, the only manga that I'm reading right now is Nana, and I'm saving it. I'm savoring it because it's been on hiatus for like what 10 years now or more, and it's probably never coming back. And I have around 30 chapters left to the end, um, and I'm not ready for that. I'm not. And it also that show um, there are trigger warnings. So if you want to watch the show or read the manga, please go ahead, do your thing, but check the trigger warnings. Because I do believe that you have to be in the right headspace to watch this because it's pretty rough in a sense that it tackles a lot of really difficult and triggering topics, but also has pretty damn good music. That's the show that I've been listening to the soundtrack of like on repeat, and there is a good reason for that. Okay, I think that was it. I There was a nice selection of like movies, series, anime, music that I consumed this month. I would say I I've watched much more movies than I generally do. Um, I feel like I'm getting into the movie genre. Not the movie genre, but the movie scene, so to say. I've been also listening to some YouTubers that do like movie commentaries. I really love that. Um, and and yeah, and it's just a really nice hobby to just go to the cinema because I love going to the cinema, but I rarely used to do that, and that's just something that I can no longer tolerate. I didn't read much, but that's not a problem. It's I read a lot in January. I maybe I read more next month. I'm not too fussed about that. I'm really happy with the music that I'm listening to. February is definitely slower or less on the music side because whenever I listen to something, I for the past few weeks or even months, I reach out to audiobooks instead, and that's just the period that I'm in right now. But I've also been enjoying quite some bangers. Um, and yeah, let me know what your favorite song is that you listen to this month. I always love to take new recommendations. Um, Go check out any of the songs that I recommended or that I talked about. Well, honestly, all of the all of the things that I talked about, I recommend, unless stated otherwise. Let me know if you enjoy this series. I am planning on making it like a monthly thing, just for you to enjoy, but also for me to just keep track on what I'm up to. That brings us to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I have an exciting announcement. I'm going home for a month. I think this is the last video for a while now that you'll be seeing me in with this background, but worry not, I will be making some content back home. I'm really excited about that. Definitely expect some vlogs, or maybe a lot of vlogs. I've really been enjoying filming vlogs, and I mean it takes a long time, and it also takes a shit ton of editing. But if you haven't watched my last vlog, I filmed a week in a life as a university student. Make sure to go check that out because that was pretty cool. Okay, I'm gonna stop yapping for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Okay, never mind, that was not funny.